jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat
Yo, shout out to the hottest shot in the MF game, A-Side official, and no negotiation needed, period. We back with another one, of course. We on Operation No Mas, goddammit. Yes, Operation No Mas is in full effect. The troops have been given the order to fall in, and this is Operation No Mas. As you see it, Crawford odds over Canelo improves. Operation No Mas. If you go back to when it all went down, even though Roberto Duran was Mexican and Panamanian, we're just more so looking at the fight itself. The fight itself was remembered, just because Sugar Ray decided, hey, I have to get this rematch. You know, what Roberto Duran was able to do to Sugar Ray Leonard at the time, it was a no-brainer that he had to get the rematch. And in the rematch, you pretty much seen what happened. I'm not here to bring up old skeletons and knock over headstones and really piss off the dead. You know what I'm saying? But that fight right there, it's a lot of people that wanted that shit to stay buried. I'm gonna be honest. They wanted that shit to stay buried, done, over. Because Sugar Ray Leonard, all the way up to Roberto Duran, he was undefeated. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard was undefeated. And then he goes in there for the WBC welterweight title and he loses to Roberto Duran. I mean, at that time, June 1980, Roberto Duran was a problem. Absolutely. He's been a problem. Hands of stone. I mean, come on. The man was a problem. So from June 1980 to later on that year, in November 1980, Sugar Ray Leonard was able to get his rematch. And though you look on BoxRec, you're not going to be able to archive the words. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to archive the commentary, as the UK Brit said. The commentary, you're not going to be able to archive the commentary of what the translation was going on in the corner of Roberto Duran, because he was frustrated. Roberto Duran was being outsmarted, outwitted. Sugar Ray Leonard had a different game plan this time around to use his boxing, and Roberto Duran refused to carry on with the fight into the 9th round. And therefore, it was considered a TKO out of a 15-round championship showcase, y'all. Now, you're asking yourself, how in the hell this got to do with Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford? It's a lot to do with it. It's a lot of similarities. Let me say this in reference to Crawford. Greatness comes from challenges. Not any of them are alike. So why would you expect a moment like this to be great, to come easy for Crawford? That shit's not going to come easy. So what does Crawford have to do? Crawford is clearly the underdog. Crawford is the one that people attempted to say he can't. You know, that's all you've been hearing. He can't. He's too small. His weight class is for a reason. So I'm looking at the pattern of this behavior, right? And I'm saying in boxing, I'm in a community of hardcore fans. if I consider you to be a hardcore fan, then I'm assuming that you understand that challenges keep coming and keep coming in the sport of boxing. Challenges don't stop. They come in all ways, shapes, or forms. You have a small fighter against a bigger fighter. You have a short fighter against a taller fighter. You have a brawler fighter against a technically skilled boxer fighter, right? It's different freaking comparisons that you can use. But for Crawford Canelo, it's too many of you all are just giving him the benefit of the doubt because of the paychecks he's earning. I don't like that. Operation No Mas. I'm out here saying it once again. I believe within my heart of hearts that Crawford has a very solid, strict chance of stopping Canelo. And it might not be the type of stoppage that you looking for. It doesn't necessarily mean a knockout, like a KO flatline. You remember I said the same shit for Crawford Spence? I said, if Crawford stops Spence, it's not going to be a flatline KO because they don't want him to go out like that. It's going to be a referee. And Harvey Dock stopped the fight. I truly believe that Bud Crawford, with the skill set he has within his arsenal, his cachet of weapons, I believe he has what it takes to go in there and get a TKO stoppage, or Canelo Alvarez potentially say no mas. And people think it's so impossible, but it ain't. I always say this to those individuals who keep on acting like shit's impossible. It just tells me y'all haven't really stepped into gyms. Like, street fighting is different, bro. I'm talking about being around the sport of boxing, seeing amateur fights, seeing regional fights, being around certain fights where a fighter was down and out, or so we thought, and then they battled back to win the fight. Anything is freaking possible. Certain fighters that was out here, it seemed like they was unbeatable. They end up facing defeat. And we all look back on how they was defeated, and it becomes a braggadocious topic to talk to your fans, say, okay, this is how so-and-so beat this guy, right? So it's possible. You're talking about how that person, how that particular boxer defeated a boxer that was deemed to be much more of a greater fighter than his opposition. Quality opposition on both sides. But every now and then we have a fight of this volume, this anticipation, this magnitude, where you have two fighters that are equally matched. See, the wild part about this is that these fans refuse to say that this is a 50-50 fight. I'm just trying to give them a peace of mind, goddammit. Crawford has every bit of a physical anatomy that encompass boxing skills, experience, achievements. He has the record jacket. He has the archives that when you look back on what somebody has accomplished in the sport, you can look on Canelo, you can look on Crawford. Crawford, Canelo, you can both look at their record jackets. You can look at their medal plates, all the dang champions they done beat, all the belts they've earned. Both of these guys are two-time undisputed, even though Crawford has done it in two divisions, which in my opinion is much more respectable than 2 times in your own division, especially when your opponent is named William School. Not SCHOOL. Not the OOL like fool. Because that's the way William School looked in there when he was running around the ring, looked like a fool. But this is School as in SCULL. Nobody will remember this guy for stepping in there with Canelo, except the fact that he ran when he had the opportunity. The dark to the heart, y'all, is the fact that Crawford is not going to be that guy. He's not going to run. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle leading up to this fight. It's going to be a struggle for the Canelo fans to really settle down, stop stressing themselves out, stop breaking down their sanity, because a lot of you cats are already on the verge of going insane. Because, you know, deep down inside, if you was there when Canelo was defeated by Floyd Mayweather, and then for Bud Crawford to come on the back end of Canelo's career and give him even a worse whooping than Floyd Mayweather gave him, man, come on, man. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. I'm going to do what I do best, man. I'm going to call upon every unemployed therapist, life coach, social worker. I'm getting them ready right now because me, I think as an older cat in life, a former veteran, I think it's up to me to have resources available for these Canelo fans. I'm just being honest, yo. It's up to me to give back to the community. I served my country. Now I'm trying to go back and serve the community of boxing. So hit me in the DM for those of you that's unemployed, life coaches, therapists, psychiatrists, you know what I'm saying? Social workers, counselors, mentors. You could have been a mentor at the YMCA, goddammit. I still need your help. The reason why this is near and dear to my heart, knowing that Crawford will go in there and stop Canelo on the stool, is because I've seen the disband of aerosexuals when it came down to Spence. I've seen that play out. Real talk. Man, I can't imagine how many of those individuals still haven't recovered from July 29th, 2023, y'all. I mean, just think about that. They was never able to rebound off of that fight. And now you have one of the star pupils, Canelo Alvarez, finally being forced into a corner to fight Terrence Crawford. A fight that he said it was easy work. That's what Canelo said. Canelo said easy work. He said he's not going to get credit if he beat Crawford. But yet, when it came down to Crawford, he said he needed 150 million. You know, goddamn it, WCS got to tell you in clear English, that's exactly what he's getting, right? So he requested 150 million, and that's the 150 million that the ass whipping is going to cost him come September 12th, 2025. I could care less about all these other haters that's out here that's anemic as fuck, believing that it's impossible for Crawford to go out here and defeat Canelo. Not just defeat this dude, but defeat him in a memorable performance. Defeat him in a way that people are going to take a step back from boxing just a little bit. You know, like the aerosexuals was forced away. Like when you bet your car, your house, you know what I'm saying, all your appliances in that motherfucker, you know, you'll bet a full furnished home, you put everything on the market. Lost the bet, and y'all had to go into seclusion. But see, with the Canelo fans, they're underestimating this different type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use once in a lifetime and sound like a nigga 70 years old. I'm just telling you, if you look at the left side of the thumbnail, that was Canelo sitting in the corner against William School. Now, how in the can a fighter like William School make you look like that? Are you trying to tell me you put in that much work with a very lowly aggressive, minimal activity type of boxer in school, and he made you look like this shit right here? Look at Canelo. He had his mouth open. Canelo, he is the type of tired, not from fatigue too much, but his whole exoskeletal system inside, from starting fighting at 15 years old, that everybody loves to freaking brag about, right? He has a lot of miles on the speedometer. But one thing that Canelo is tired, he said, you know what? I'm tired of fighting these fighters who move around. I just hate it. God, I hate it, man. I hate the fact that they bring up Floyd all the time. But the real reason Canelo is looking lazy right now is because Turkey Al-Sheikh has guaranteed him the money. So they always say, if you're going to be something great in the sport of boxing, you have to be what? There has to be some type of metric to your hunger. You have to have some type of barometer to your hunger, God damn it. You have to. You have a metric to being hungry enough to be the great. Canelo and Crawford is at the back end to the point where their hunger is now on the side of Crawford for legacy. Crawford is still hungry to fight the guy who they consider to be the man of this generation, of this era. Crawford's courage, the way he goes about self-motivation, the way he goes about being the bar. He wants people to respect him as the bar in boxing, always being that guy who's extremely competitive. He feels he can go in there and defeat Canelo Alvarez. Now I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot of Canelo fans out here that's crying already. And I get it. I truly do. But I'm asking you Canelo fans this. Why are you so mad if you believe that Canelo Alvarez can beat Crawford easily? Why are you so upset? Shouldn't you look at it like it's as easy as you think it's going to be, and you shouldn't allow yourself to worry and stress out because of this fight? Shouldn't you? Don't you have enough private chats out here where y'all can converse amongst each other? You know what I'm saying? Have a sensible dialogue, come up with a plan to combat the criticism that's going on here on social media. I mean, y'all should be comfortable. Your guy asked for 150 million. And from what we know, he is getting paid 150 million. He requested his highest paycheck of his career to face a man that he says was easy work. He's too small. So that tells me, right, without going to the chalkboard, that I can come up with this equation on my own just by counting on my fingers. One, it didn't make sense to say old boy was small. Two, you wanted to bring up weight classes for a reason, but it's not making any sense when the critics are now saying they believe Crawford has a solid chance of beating Canelo. That's what they're saying. They're saying they believe he has a solid chance of beating him. Not only that, the closer and closer this fight gets, this is the wildest part of it, right? The closer this fight gets, the same way the fight was ticking down, like we had some teasers between Crawford and Spence. When Spence defeated Yordenis Ugas in April, people was like, oh man, they're going to fight near the end of the year. So it was somewhat similar. They was like, okay, we don't have that long to wait. Negotiations was out there in the media. It was said that this and that, and they negotiated 55. You know, everybody thought they was a chief financial officer. That's what we looked at. Everybody thought that was the case. Everybody was out here talking like they was getting paid. They worked directly for Team Spence, all that. But the negotiations fell out, but the fight ended up happening in 2023. But this is different. Both of these fighters will not be facing any more opponents until September 12th. Both of these fighters have had ample amount of time to prepare for the other. There's a lot of fight fans that was worried about the wrong thing. Their worries was, I think Crawford should fight anybody in the heavyweight division or the bridgerweight or cruiserweight to prepare him for 168. Yes, we believe Crawford shouldn't be allowed or permitted to just take a full year off to gain the weight, the proper weight, get into a strength and conditioning regime. You know what I'm saying? Allow his trainer Bomac to look at film and all that, and pretty much just have all the time in the world to get his body conditioned to go in there and give Canelo the worst fight that he's ever been in there with, a name on his resume, considerably the more at this point in his career, because Canelo is considered to be, the creme de la creme of boxing. He's at the top of the ladder. That's what they speak about. He's has the experience. He was praised for moving up weight classes, even though when he moved up to 168 for the first Rocky Fielding is not a name that everybody's talking about with positivity and check marks, Joe. No, Canelo went for a WBA Reggie title. Crawford has never, ever went for a Reggie title, but Canelo did. Crawford didn't, but Canelo did. When Canelo had his first fight in 168, he went for a Reggie belt, yo. And they were saying, oh my God, Canelo's a 3-weight world champion. They was bragging. But now you got Crawford moving up from 168 for the first. And there's all this distortion. People are consciously stressing themselves out because they want to be biased. Why do they have these barriers up? It's called a word you may not have heard in your lifetime. It's called hating. Yeah, hating with a hard H on it. Hating. You have a lot of haters when it comes to social media. They don't want to give Crawford the benefit of the doubt that he moved up to 154 and fought an opponent that they said had a good chance in defeating Crawford. Why? Because he had an awesome, decorated amateur career. Isn't that what the union told y'all? I don't want to say something that's out of pocket, but isn't that what they was telling y'all out here? That Madrimov was a tough opponent for Crawford. Same thing they said for Spence. If Crawford fuck around, if Crawford fuck around, that all you heard is Crawford go in there and fight the wrong fight against Madrimov. It's over. Madrimov, oh my God. You see where he came from? The ruins? Did you see the ruins? They was like they was their own producer, and they was them doing a short promo trailer themselves, yo. Hey, if you look back at the years of a city that's tattered and torn, we revisit the youth of Ismail Madrimov, the fighter that's set to hand Terrence Bud Crawford his first loss and possibly derail a future mega fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. They was up here being their producers and shit. They said Madrimov had a chance, yo. Any chance they get, they was out here brokering that shit, man, with pesos and goddamn Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Hey, man, I'm trying to sell you shit. I'm trying to sell it to you. This quality shit, man. Look, Chuck E. Cheese tokens, they work as regular U.S. currency, bro. Come on, man. Goddamn buy the shit I'm trying to tell you. Canelo, he's him. They was trying to sell you that it was okay if Canelo did certain things like picking up a Reggie belt at 168. But when Crawford requests to move up the ladder or take the elevator, what was he thinking? These are hardcore fans, right? Not C-level casuals. These are hardcore fans, not C-level casuals that was saying this bullshit. And my consciousness is telling me, damn, WCS, man, once you start to go on a crusade, Operation No Mas, I had to abandon Cinco de Crawford. because we found out the fight was going to be even that much more entertaining because Canelo was going back into the ring to scoop up the IBF title, which he was stripped of him by the IBF sanctioning body. But hold up. Let's bring another archive out the dirt. It's always good to take a walk in the cemetery every now and then. Grab you a Red Bull so you can pay attention to your surroundings, goddammit. Don't go up just moseying your ass around and not paying attention. I do want to bring up something to you haters that refuse to remember Errol Spence. When Errol Spence was calling out Canelo at 147, the psychological prosthetics, I swear to God, you wasn't fitted correctly. You all was psychologically regurgitating that Errol Spence had a chance to move up from 47 to 54 to 60 to 68. Knowing he already had an ass whooping pending. You all was up here supporting the shit that Errol Spence could very well move up there and face Canelo Alvarez. You all said, yeah, he's the boogeyman at 47. They said the big fish strap season, he was the boogeyman. Yeah, we want to see the fight between him and Canelo Alvarez. That's what they said. I didn't hear anybody trying to work on their marketing skills and trying to sell a narrative that Errol Spence is weight classes for a reason. He's too small of a fighter. I didn't hear any of that. I did not hear it, y'all. I did not hear them broadcasting concern that Errol Spence may be in trouble if he faces Canelo Alvarez. So certain people that was on the EJ bandwagon, and it was many on the EJ bandwagon. I did not hear any of them talking about, don't do that, EJ. Don't do that. For the sake of the Holy Spirit, the Most High, don't move up to 168 and face Saul. No, they was talking about, oh man, you know, he has one of the best educated jabs, and if Canelo can't get past the jab, oh man, it's gonna be in trouble. And they was going back in fights. Look at the fights he had before. You know, these names, you know, they kept using Kell Brook. Look, Kell Brook was way bigger than Errol Spence. He went in his backyard. You know, they was just comparing fighters to Canelo Alvarez, who wasn't on the level of Canelo. But they thought, piecing it together just like a jigsaw puzzle, the final picture was going to just tell you everything you needed to know. The final picture was the reality had to be served up cold. The reality had to be served up with the left and right hand, the left and right feet. That's what had to be served up. It had to be served up with boxing IQ. That's what it has to be served up. It was served up and fit for human consumption on July 29, 2023. And that's the only thing that pisses me off about this one. I would have liked the fight to be in July again, because it would have been proper reflection. You know, when you have a memorial service and years pass by and you say, man, I was just thinking about July 29th. God damn, that shit right there. Man, let's just look at, I remember all the people that used to be on social media and they was talking, and man, they were so loud and confident about the shit they were saying. They believed it. And then when July 29th, the sun set different, the motherfucking fog rolled in. In the second round, the fog rolled in. A jab landed. And I was about to say, Harvey Doc, I don't think he's seen that jab coming. It was the fog. But little do they know, they couldn't see the fog. The motherfucker was just looking. What did we just watch, man? They was just looking at the motherfucking collapse of strap season. Big Fish, the eye collector. They seen the collapse road and they couldn't see the fog. But the Bud Crawford fans, we seen this shit. And we're going to see it again as time get closer and closer to September 12th. It's on a MF and Friday, y'all. Just think about this. Just think about how the celebration is going to be on a Saturday instead of a Sunday. Just think about this. The alignment of the stars is going to work out perfect for this fight. Just like it did July 29th. It's going to work out perfect, yo. Because not only do we get to celebrate like we did the fish fry, we get to celebrate on a Saturday. We get to really celebrate on a Saturday. Yes. Yes. We get to all come together and what they call in church devotion, no, fellowship. We all get to come together and lay our hands on the greatest fighters of this era, Terrence Bud Crawford, for going in there, not shocking the world, but once again, stepping on the necks of them haters that always want to come up and say what he can and cannot do. There's weight classes for a reason. Oh, let me sit up there. Canelo, you okay? Do you need me to adjust positions? Huh? I just want to make sure you're comfortable. Do you need your feet rubbed again? Huh? Your calf muscles massaged? I mean, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a whole lot of suspect activity going on with dudes that think Canelo is immortal. We don't think Crawford immortal. We just think and have confidence that he has the skill set, the entire package to go in here and fuck Canelo up. Yes, he does. He has the skill set for the predictions to continue to sway in favor of Terrence Bud Crawford. Let me get to Carlos Rosado. Shout out to Carlos Rosado. What's good with you? First of all, I have to give a big shout out to Haynes Legacy for donation in the Cash App. Much appreciated, brother. Salute. I appreciate it. Shout out to my guy CW. Christopher, appreciate the donation in the Cash App, my brother. You know what it is. One love. Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat on deck. I appreciate you, big dog. WCS salute. Happy pre-Mother's Day to yours, WCS, and all the brothers in the chat. Bud gonna have Nello look like Martin after he fought Hitman. Yes, sir. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building with the $5 super chat. It's much appreciated, man. Salute to everybody. CW in the building. Bold and Understanding on deck. Haynes Legacy on deck. Jamal Neasy on deck. What's good, Neasy? Streets on deck. What's good? Arnold Brown. Always prayers to you. Make sure y'all keep your prayers up for my boy Haynes Legacy all day. This is what I'm trying to do, right? If I create a thumbnail, right? It's not like you have to attend an auction to win an opportunity to listen to the live. You don't have to tune in, goddammit. Stop leaving me shit because you feeling some type of way. And you cats that actually know me, stop using fake accounts and talking in broken English, trying to act like you are a Mexican fan. Stop it, bro. Come on, man. Y'all doing too much. Stop speaking broken English and trying to act like, man, y'all don't know any English, but yet you know enough to say something stupid about Crawford. Man, come on, man. Sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable for stupidity, dog. For real. But let's just go back. Let's just take a reflection right quick also in a telltale fact. All right. This particular fight has been brewing for quite some time with Alvarez and Crawford. It's made its rounds to some of your premier media segues. your own air vehicles that we listen to all the time. And we heard both fighters. Canelo more so was downplaying the fight and saying that he gets nothing from fighting Crawford. He's too small and it's easy money. So much easy money that a fighter that's too small, coming from 2 of the weight divisions down, that he had to request 150 million. Now Canelo right now sits at 67 professional fights. 67, yo. Understand the sense of urgency. Canelo is clearly locked in with Turkey al-Sheikh to make a very solid monetary bag. I don't care about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about, his bag or anything like that. Kudos to the fighters. Crawford's getting his highest. Canelo's getting his highest. I don't care anything about that. I'm happy for both fighters, because when the gloves are knotted and you're no longer able to compete at a high level, I don't want to see these fighters back in the ring past their prime. I don't want to see them emulating Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But I can tell you what I do want to see. I do want to see Bud Crawford put hands on Canelo come the 12th of September. I do want to see that. And not just put hands on him. I just want him to goddamn anoint Canelo and make him face his fears. Canelo's fears is a fighter that is talented as Crawford and has all the skills. And him and Eddie Reynoso is going to have to understand that, damn, how should we approach this fight? 12 freaking rounds and some of the most difficult that we've ever faced in 67 pro fights. How do we approach it? What fights do we look at? Do we pay attention to the Madrimov fight? We're not worried about Canelo coming in there and becoming faint Master Nello. His knees will give out. Canelo don't have the knees, man. That's why he's a freaking a masonry in there. It seems like he got cement weights on his ankles. We don't have to worry about him fainting and moving around like Madrimov. If him and his coach decide to do any type of to enforce any type of game plan, I'm gonna be honest. I believe that B&B have the experience and knowledge to come up with a game plan that's suitable to go in there and earn victory. I believe it. I do. I want you to take a look at this right here. And those of you that's not Crawford fans, what you have options, okay? But I do want you to take a look at this video right here, because Crawford has put out a thumbnail pretty much letting his fans know that the merch is absolutely out there for your viewing pleasures, for you to purchase if you're a Crawford fan. All right. But being that this is going to be on, Mexican independence, I want you to see something right quick. Let's take a little gander at Bud Crawford with one of his shirts. That's his merch, and is donning the red, white, and green Mexican colors. Let's see what he has to say. I'm not going to play them because it has music on it, because he has the band playing and all that. You see that? I mean, they have a convoy. Look at that. Come on, that's authentic right there. How many of you all can work a lasso like that? Come on, bro. He's doing that shit with ease. Look at that. He's over there celebrating. Just imagine how it's going to be after he defeat Canelo on September 12th. I think it's going to be way more people than that, yo. Way more people. It's going to be way more people in the parade than that. Look at Crawford on the back of the truck, man. Look at that black cowboy. Who told Crawford he can get on a horse? Now, hold up. Let me go back, man. Who told him to do that, man? They having a track meet too? Is that his daughter? I know that ain't his daughter. I know damn well that is not the daughter that lost her shoe on the track and went back and picked it up and still won. I know damn well that is not a Crawford. I know damn well that is not a Crawford leaving her competitors 50 feet behind. That ain't freaking fair. Is this another race? Are you serious?
All the way. All the way. All the way.
Burning. God damn. This is what he has to deal with when he's retired? That's wild, bro. Hey, that's wild right there. That's wild, yo. I just wanted y'all to see who he was chilling with. That's all I wanted y'all to do. I wanted to kind of, lift y'all up a little bit. If I have lowered the Canelo's morale, the Canelo fans' morale, I want to lift you up by showing you that Crawford himself is over there congregating with the Canelo fans. He's all about giving back to the community. That's the least he could do before whooping that ass on the 12th. Give back to the community, goddammit. Now I got a big question for the Canelo fans. Like, what is your emergency action plan? Like the Aerospins, as much as I told them, they didn't really want to take it serious. They was just being stubborn, knuckleheads and all that shit. But you all have had enough time to hear all you need to hear all the criticism, to be on the damn panels with all these debates. Crawford ain't gonna do that. All the shit, the same shit we've heard, all the parasitic criticism that y'all want. I just need to ask you this. What is your emergency action plan? How do you get through this disaster? How do you continue on in your boxing life, knowing that Crawford has defeated your king, your God, your savior? When he defeats your God, how do you carry on in the sport of boxing? Are you going to run to the bunkers and hide out? How are you gonna get through this? What is your treatment plan? How do you rehab from this ass whooping? I'm just curious, man. I'm really curious. I need some education. I do. I know you're saying, I wish Crawford didn't have a full year to get himself and his physique ready to go in there and fight a colleague of his that's on the pound for pound list. I know you just wish that it wasn't ample amount of time for him to prepare for this fight. But through news release, reports, and credible sources, Crawford has put out pictures of his transition, his progress, and it does look official. It doesn't look like he's just been out here taking creatine and bloating up, and people like, oh man, he looked bloated, like he's getting ready for a bodybuilding contest. No. When him and Canelo faced off, I said to myself, God damn it, I get to witness another massacre in my lifetime. I do, man. I said to myself, I'm able to witness another freaking massacre this time. For real. I put the thumbnail out also that in order for Canelo to gain any type of advantage, he's basically requested over and over again in Turkey al-Sheikh to reduce the ring size to damn near 5-by-5. He feels that is only fair because he's saying that William Skull took advantage of their smaller ring size. Okay. I mean, it wasn't that big, but Skull made it look like it was a huge landscape, man. He made it look like it was a golf course. And Canelo was up there trying to swing a golf club, just to hit him in the knee, like they had to do Nancy Kerrigan back in the day before she was going to compete against Tonya Harding. That's not out the question, y'all. I just hope that don't happen to Crawford, but I do believe there's some plotting and scheming going on. I'm being honest. But this right here, this thumbnail I put up right here showed me that Crawford Canelo. So when the conversation boils up, you start seeing those little bubbles pop because the temperature of the damn discussion is heating up. Y'all can't say that Canelo is the only agenda that you can push is experience at 168. You feel me? You can say that Canelo has more experience, which is a no-brainer. He has more experience. It doesn't take a person to go to the School of Sweet Science and learn that shit. Do a correspondence course. I mean, you're looking at both of these face off, height to height. Crawford's just a little bit taller. Crawford has a longer reach. Now you're talking about IQ to IQ. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about IQ to IQ. Now you get into physical dimensions. You get into all the attributes that's going to make this fight in September one to remember. Allegiant Stadium. The first time a boxing match has ever been hosted. I mean, TKO boxing promotion. There's a lot of first. There's a lot of first that's going on for this fight. This would be the first time Canelo was ever paid $150 million in one set. It'd be the first time Crawford's paid $100 million in one set. Both fighters are being paid very handsomely. But it even extends farther than that when it comes down to why is Bud so driven to go in there and prove to the people that he can beat Canelo Alvarez. Now, that's the dangerous part. That's when it becomes deleterious right there. That's when it becomes a bit dangerous for boxing because a lot of people used to take this shit for a joke. They just used to brush it off when the fight wasn't announced, right? The fight wasn't happening. They was up there chuckling and shit. Give me some more eggnog, please. Pour a little scotch in there. Yeah, I'm feeling real good right now because Turkey Al Sheik, WCS was telling you all that Turkey Al Sheik is bullshitting. I told you all he's putting out false information. And what happened? He turned back around and said, hey, I just did it just to get the reaction of the crowd. But Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is still happening in September. There were certain people up here, really. That's the biggest smile I ever seen in their face. Seen on their face. I mean, they was talking so loud and yelling in the mic and shit. They was really believing when Turkey said Crawford and Canelo is off. They was up here bigging up Canelo to fight Jake Paul. Yo, the audacity. The mother effing audacity, yo. We're talking about a real life mega fight. And they was cheering because they felt the fight was called off and Canelo was going to fight Jake Paul. Now, come on, yo. How do y'all allow that shit to happen? How do you allow some bullshit like that to happen, bro? You cannot say that's respectful enough to ever call them boxing aficionados or none of that shit no more. They was actually believing that. Jake Paul Canelo is the fight they wanted to see. And you know the reason why they wanted to see Jake Paul Canelo? Because they said that Jake Paul is going to get paid this amount of money. It wasn't so much that Jake Paul has one of the worst resumes as a professional fighter. A lot of the fighters, if you combine their age, I mean, we're talking about something straight out the caveman days. That shit gonna take you back decades. If you combine the age of the fighters that he have on his record at the time he fought them, we're talking about Social Security. Yes, we're talking about AARP. We're talking about senior citizen discount. But good old Turkey Al-Sheikh knew how to puppetize the media. And he quickly came back after him and his people was eating some freshly made lamb chops and whatever else they had on their 18-course meal, right? And then they released another announcement saying that Canelo and Crawford was back on. Now, to my delight, I was able to see the reaction of these individuals that was hyping up the fight with Jake Paul and shitting on Crawford. I was just sitting there gloating, y'all. Do y'all understand what I was doing? I was gloating. I was rubbing it in their face. I was being petty. Yes, I was. Because you all was hoping and wishing bad on, and you call yourself a fight fan. You was wishing bad on Crawford because he wanted to do something that's already been done in the history of boxing. There have already been fighters that move up 2 weight classes. We just seen Jermell Charlo do it. But let's be honest with ourselves. No fight fan is going to bring that up in their conversation as being one of Canelo's toughest challenges. Let's be honest with ourselves, y'all. It was nothing unique and special about Canelo moving up from 54 to 68. But it is going to be something very special when Crawford does it. Yeah, you best believe. You best believe. You best believe. Yes. Yes. The thumbnails are going to be continuous off the conveyor belt. There are going to be stories to be told, you know, in this. I want people to just hold their patience. You know what I'm saying? Conduct yourselves in a manner that you don't ruin the job that you have. I don't want people losing careers over this shit. This is a captivating matchup that's going to require face-to-face coordination. What I mean by that, just imagine when they have their first presser. Woo! Just can't wait till they start having that first presser. I'm very curious to know where that press conference is going to be. Just like I was able to attend Spence and Crawford, I'm definitely going to try my damnness to be there for Crawford. Operation No Mas Canelo. Yes. I'm definitely looking forward to this shit, yo. I'm looking forward to attending one of the mega fights of this damn era. I just want to be able to get up close and personal through my lens and see the expressions, you know, on each fighter's faces when they're addressing the questions that's being asked. I just want to have an up close and personal. That's all. I just want to be able to ask the questions in the media scrum. Canelo, where do you rate this fight? In 67 bouts, where do you rate Terence Crawford? No, go translating. And we ain't translating. You know how to speak English now. Go ahead and tell me in English. Come on, Canelo, get to the point. What do you rate? I'm just asking you a soft question. You know what I'm saying? What do you rate this? Okay, Canelo tell me he rates it, what he rates it, okay? I don't expect him to have it high on the metric comparable to his other fights. Why? Because he hasn't fought a fighter like this, of this quality, this boxing IQ, this technical skill set, his overall experience on the elite level. It's more than just moving up 2 weight divisions. And then I'm going to just politely propose the question. I'll probably lose my credential for this, but I'll say, Canelo, how are you going to address your fans after Crawford beat that ass? I mean, respectfully, okay? Because Crawford, you have some solid fans out there. Real talk. You have some fans that rock with you hardcore. But unlike Spence didn't give a fuck about his fans because his fans didn't give a fuck about him. So I don't blame Spence for his resignation. I don't blame that man. I give him the salute, palms down. But you, Canelo, I'm being proactive. After Crawford beat that ass, how are you going to keep your fans interested in continuing to follow the sport of boxing in any fight you may have after that? What's your plan? Just it's between me and you. Nobody else listening. Come on, Mello. Dana. I don't like this guy attitude. He has bad attitude. Ask me stupid question. Can you get his credential and escort him out, please? He's hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Dana's gonna be like, no, you're gonna answer the question. We don't do that over here. We don't do that shit over here. You answer the hard questions. Have you ever seen a freaking a press conference for the UFC? He lets them people ask them fighters questions, whether they like it or not, bro. That's one thing I know about Dana White. He is not here to babysit. And I seriously doubt Dana is going to be in charge of it, but I can't imagine how the first presser is going to be. Because we need answers. We need answers. And once again, salute to the strays that have wandered off from the yard. Somebody let them off the leash and left the gate ajar. Okay, shout out to the strays. Okay, I definitely got to support them too. A stray has said, I'm reading, right? And sometimes I have selective dyslexia, you know. Shit look a little bit confusing to me. I can't really translate it, you know. Hey, BG. BG out there beating the strays with a goddamn rolled up piece of newspaper, man. You know, hey, sometimes I just can't say, hey, man, let them live, man. No. We ain't doing that, bro. Some of y'all coming over here with some very amicable, you know what I'm saying? Some amicable comments. And then some of you over here, you saying don't compare Canelo to Spence. When have I compared Canelo to Spence? I'm comparing Crawford to Crawford. I see you're not listening. You're not really paying attention to where I'm going with it. I'm comparing Crawford to Crawford. The Crawford that fought Errol Spence, the Crawford is about to fight Canelo. I'm not comparing Spence to Canelo. I'm comparing one person to the next person who happen to be the same person. That's all. I feel that he's going to delegate that ass whooping all the same. See, Crawford's mentality to me, and it's just an assumption, right? His mentality is just what he put out on the tweets. Okay. This is not something that I'm fabricating, but Crawford put it out there himself. 2025. Pay attention, strays. Pay attention, goddammit. I don't like goddamn going in there getting some hot boiling water and damn have some breadcrumbs in my hand and have you come up. Come on. And then dump some hot water on your punk ass. Terrence Crawford said, 2025, I will show the world once again how great I am. Okay. I didn't put that up there. I didn't, I'm not the one who handled his X account. I'm just telling you what he said, yo. Can't we just go off what he said? He said that shit. Not me. I just screenshot it. I just screenshot. That's all. He said, everyone knows that Crawford is going to try to survive like he did with Spence. Hey, they said Crawford didn't have a chance because Spence had an educated jab. They just didn't tell you that jab was special education. Yeah, it can be an educated jab, but when you have to hold hands going to the bathroom, it's not in the right class. It wasn't considered an AP class. Okay, when you talk about educated, no, this was homeschool. This was the world-class furniture store jab, because that jab didn't have no ill effect on Crawford. He goes on to say, Canelo knows what Crawford is going to do. Same as Floyd, same as Laura, same as Khan, same as School. So you comparing Khan, who had already been KO'd several times before Canelo got a hold of him. You really had the audacity to put Khan in this bitch? Huh? What's wrong with you, man? I know it's a Saturday, but what's wrong with you? Check yourself, man. Come on, man. You shouldn't even put Floyd in there, because Floyd took his ass to school. Now, that's a word with C in it. He took Canelo ass to school. How can you allow, listen to me, bro, how can a fighter that's supposed to be top billing face one of the best of this era and get worked over like that? And you all go out here and push a wheelbarrow with square wheels uphill, and you say, oh, he was green. He was green. No, find another color. He was red, goddammit, from Floyd popping them in the motherfucking face. Purple, goddammit. Stop making up excuses. If you're gonna use Laura, why don't you be honest with yourself and say, you know what? Laura won that fight. Laura won that fight. Okay? Laura did enough, in my opinion, to win that fight. You know? Hey, we don't want to talk about if Canelo selects to stay within range, okay? Because some people, if you want to talk about, has died. Well, if we're talking about bodies, there have been fighters at range, long distance, up close, that Terrence Crawford has gotten up out of there. You know, the same knockout spree that he was on. I mean, the news had that shit on every day. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you this report once again. We're looking for, out of Omaha, Nebraska, a fighter by the name of Terrence Bud Crawford. He has absolutely been on an assault spree, a knockout spree, y'all, in the welterweight division. Even though his violence has been licensed, they have now considered him to be armed and dangerous. Please call us at 800-555-fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. What are you talking about have died? Ain't nobody died. They will to keep on boxing was much higher than it was before they stepped in there with Canelo. You got cats going in there getting second place, and they're going on freaking full-blown motorcycle parades. Who's dying? Did he knock out Daniel Jacobs? Did he even fight Daniel Jacobs? I mean, did he knock out damn Triple G? Gabriel Rosado? I mean, who was he knocking out of stature? I mean, this dude was doing the percolator damn near with Jose Cotto. What did he do with Floyd? Who told his ass to go up to 175 and fight Bivol? Somebody should have been fired because their psych survey had inaccurate information attached to it. And the unfortunate part of it, when the turbulence finally hit, Canelo couldn't do anything about it. Bivol came in with a furious appointment and let it be known that you fucked up. I don't think some people are paying attention. How's Canelo bigger than Crawford? I don't know. You might be talking to somebody else that said Canelo is. I didn't read anything up top that said that. But I do like the strays actually putting their fingertips to work. You know what I'm saying? When I leave those breadcrumbs out there, yeah, I'm glad to see y'all over here letting me know that you're fueling up. You know what I'm saying? You're getting that nutrients and carbs and everything. I like that. Neezy say, not in a million years Canelo thought his fight was ever going to come true. Well, I agree with you on that. And that's with the arrogance and the ego. But now it's here. I think Canelo look at it like, man, I'm getting paid any way it goes. If I lose, I lose. That's the way Canelo looking at it. Man, if I lose, I lose. I'm paid. Money already in the account. Canelo's just going to be walking around, complaining to the referee, all that shit. Hey, don't be surprised if Canelo try to get DQ'd, bro. How you think Crawford does? He's not different. He's only has one way to win. And what way is that? Be specific. You know, if he has one way to win, be specific. That's all. Just help me understand your method for reasoning. How do you see it playing out? That's all I got to say. If you're saying he only has one way, please make me aware of the one way. Clarify, please. Yes, Bud did beat the shit out of Amir Khan. He made him quit. So much to the fact that Amir Khan wanted to falsely accuse Crawford for hitting him in the groin area, which clearly we live in a technology area where the replay absolutely showed that the punch landed on the upper left thigh. But to Amir Khan, just the mere impact of that punch, it probably felt like he smashed him in the cup. You know? It probably looked like he hit him dead in the cup area. But after the replay, and the referee said, hey, Khan, look up. Khan wouldn't look up. Khan was over there sniffling. No, Khan, look up. They doing the. No, he hit me in the cup. I felt it. I know you felt it. It was close to the cup, but it wasn't on the cup. Khan, if you don't turn around, I'm gonna have to count you out. He counted him out. He quit. Period. Damn, somebody said he ends everybody's career that was a nobody. Damn. I mean, Gennady Golovkin did well, but I'm going to be honest, he really didn't do shit after that rematch. And then Canelo brought him back for a trilogy when Gennady was clearly into the rocking chair business. Just a puzzling state of, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think we'll ever see a John Ryder rematch, Jaime Munguia rematch, Edgar Berlanga rematch, Mel Charlo rematch. But we might see a Terrence Crawford rematch. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if you listen, I don't think you're listening. If you remember, I said if you was trying to boost up Khan when he faced Canelo, he had already been stopped several times prior to that fight date. Okay? The only reason I'm boosting or giving any type of credibility to Bud Crawford and what he did to Khan because he made him quit. Okay? Yes, Canelo knocked him out. Kudos to him. But it really wasn't in comparison to how both fighters, Canelo and Crawford, stopped Khan. Khan is a good boxer, but he's just a name that people respect to bring up when it comes to Canelo. No, leave him bookmarked in between those pages up on the highest shelf. Okay. Just only bring it down when these fighters have retired for a good 25 years. Then we go back in the boxing annals. Oh, let me blow the dust off this motherfucker. Let me say, oh, there you go, Amir Khan. Hey, buddy. Hey, you've been up here all this time. Let me read about some of the fights that you had. Prescott? Oh, shit. Why you didn't practice on your defense early? After Prescott, why you Danny Garcia? Oh my God, shit. What was going on with you, man? And one knockout to the next. Don't you get it? Canelo Alvarez. Damn. At least James Kirkland got knocked out too. So you got some company with that. Man, come on, bro. That coma sent him, knocked him, sent him on downhill. No. We can't sit up here and say Canelo's was finishing people. If y'all saying Crawford is just too old, you're saying Crawford's just too old. But I definitely I don't know what Canelo versus Mel mean all over again. Because if you think about it, when you look at Crawford's fight and Jamel Charlo's best fights, you really can't put any of them and compare them to Crawford's freaking fight, one of his best performances that you want to use in comparison to make your statement. You can't do it. And it goes far beyond the skin tone too. I think a lot of you all, when it comes to comparing, Crawford to other fighters, is always what? Other black fighters. Why? If it's not about racism, why y'all continue to compare them to other black fighters? Compare them to other fighters, period. Stop comparing them to a Jamel Charlo who hasn't accomplished. He hasn't even scratched the surface of what Buzz scratched. Even with the Undisputed, he hasn't did it. In a single division, dude is afraid to move up to 160. But yet he ran away and hid out because he knew Bud was coming up there. Not until he found out Bud was fighting Canelo. Now he want to go back and start to make his presence known at 154. Stop it, bro. No, hell no. Shout out to Miguel. Salute. Let me check something out right quick. Let me go do some homework. Right quick. I just want to do some homework, man. Let's see. That's what I thought. No, there's no period in there. See, you know what's the difference in period? When Crawford fans say he's gonna win, they use exclamation. They don't use the period. You know what I'm saying? We use the exclamation. It's not just 1, 2, 3. We put them motherfuckers, line them up like pillars. That's all I'm saying. See, they always got to make it about Hispanics and black. Hey, but I got to finish watching this boxing match, man. A shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. And remember, the thumbnails ain't going nowhere. This is Operation No Mas, man. Canelo quits on the stool versus Crawford. We're going to revisit the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran era. You know what I'm saying? Canelo just don't have it anymore. He looked like this against William Skull, y'all. It's done. Until next time, this is not the last that you will see. You know what I'm saying? We will revisit this. Salute to everyone. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And thanks for the donation to everyone who supported the channel. Peace. I'm out.